imagination is a beautiful thing. Your imagination can allow you to think of a beautiful vacation. Your imagination can allow you to plan projects, to plan your day. Your imagination can allow you to go on a mini vacation inside your mind. But your imagination can also be destructive. Your imagination can keep you caught up in your worst fears becoming a reality. Your imagination is often leaving you in fear response and in survival mode. So if you find yourself all day in stress, in fear response, in survival mode, your imagination, your mind, is getting the better of you. You might have let the imaginations and let the mind, the programming of the mind, run the show. And I often refer to this as autopilot. You might recognize being on autopilot as an example when you're driving and you leave one location and you get to the other and you don't remember at all how you got there. You don't remember the journey. Surely you drove. Obviously you were safe. And you don't even remember what you were thinking about. It was like you blacked out. You're blanked out. So what happened during that time? Well, you were thinking. You were thinking about something and you got lost in thought. And as you went into your programming, which is your subconscious programming, and I'll talk about that a little bit here in just a moment, when you get lost in this subconscious programming, we are no longer in the present moment. When we go into our imagination, we might be in the past, we might be in the future, we might be in some hypothetical land, but we're not fully living in the moment. And fears, these fears, we need to recognize and we need to shed light on those. We need to turn the light switch on, or we might often hear in Eastern philosophy is to become enlightened. It's just the starting point. It means that you were previously in a dark room and you just flip the light switch on and suddenly you can see what everything is. There's a beautiful story in the Yoga Sutras that talks about a man who's screaming and he goes and gets his neighbors because he sees a snake in the back of his yard. And of course, in this scenario, the snake is very dangerous and he goes and gets them and someone brings a flashlight and shines a light and it's just a rope. And so in our mind, there is resistance, there are blocks, there are fears that are keeping you blocked from having and doing the things that you want. Now let's take this an example. What is the health that you want? What is the career that you want? What is this dream life? And what is preventing you from getting there? It might be that you have some fear that you might lose one thing and have to trade. You might have to sacrifice something in order to have this other thing that you would like to have. And that is scarcity or sacrificial mindset. And what we're looking to move into is abundant mindset. Abundant mindset makes us feel that we can have anything, we can have everything. We're living in love, hope, faith. And when we're living in that place, we allow ourselves to be charged up and ready to take charge of our lives. So for example, if you keep making the excuse that you want to exercise, and you're like, I want to exercise, I need to exercise, but it's not happening, something is blocking you from making that excuse. So we need to take action. One of my favorite quotes is, you cannot cross the river by staring at it. And so we could stare at the other side, and this is where we might be daydreaming and using our imagination for this ideal life, this ideal body that we would like to have. And while we're thinking about it, dreaming about it, we can see it in our minds. What's preventing us from getting there is action. And so, like today, I went for a run. Was it my ideal time to run? If I was going to create my schedule, I would prefer to run probably in the morning. That way I could shower afterwards and be ready for the day. Instead, I'm coming on video with not complete hair. But instead, I'm taking imperfect action. And while I was running, I was thinking, oh man, this would be better if I could do it this other way. So we first take the action. Take the incomplete action, take the imperfect action, and while you're doing it, be thinking about a better way to do it next time. And so that if we were to improve ourselves 1% every single day, in 100 days we'd be 100% better. So we take a little action today that creates the stepping stones, the path, the guide for where we hope to go. But first we have to take the action. So what is it? What are the excuses that come up in your mind? And some of them might be beautiful, perfect, legitimate excuses, right? Like I might say, well, I've got too many things to do. I've got a list of things to do, and those things have to be done first. But in all reality, everything has no meaning. Everything has no meaning except for the meaning that we assign to it. And of course, other people might assign a meaning to those objects. But then our relationship to that and our relationship to their meaning as well is also something that we formulate. For example, some people might view exercise as something that has to be done every day. And it should be done every day. However, other people might view it as an option. So what will it take for you if you believe that it's optional or it's not the top priority? What will it take for you to believe that it is a top priority? So first of all, I'm going to tell you that exercise is not the predominant way to lose weight. Diet is, mindset, stress management is. That in fact, exercise is what's going to give you the energy to keep fueling the mindset so that you can do all those other healthy habits. That exercise is what makes our bones stronger. That exercise is what gives us circulation, improves our heart health. It's not particularly for weight loss. And so if you're going to exercise, you need to be doing it because you're wanting to take on a healthy lifestyle, not because you're just looking to gain weight. We want the full picture, not just a piece of it. We want the abundant mindset, not the scarcity. We want to start living a healthier life so that we go on walks with our family, we go on hikes with our friends, that exercise becomes our hobby, that becomes our extracurricular itinerary. Because in fact, that is when the obesity epidemic hit, especially in the United States. That did you know that now our generation, my generation, is expected to have a lower life expectancy than the previous generation? This is the first time in history, and it's not because of our science, technology, and knowledge. It's because of our lifestyles. It's because of our mindset. It's because of our priorities. If you think that you don't have time to exercise, it is not the time. Because I promise you, you have found time to watch Netflix, you have found time to be on your phone, you have found time to do plenty of things that you keep saying that you need to stop doing. That is a priority. You have not put it in your mind as something that must be done. In order for you to live your healthiest, happiest life, even for you to be the best spiritual version of you, you need to exercise. Exercise, it was what keeps our vessel, our temple in shape and functioning well so that our energy can move through us. So if you need more energy in your day, it's because you need some exercise, you need some oxygen, you need breathing. And if you're not to the point yet where you feel like you can exercise because you're so depleted, then first becomes the mindset. Drink the water, do the breathing exercises, start changing the eating habits. And if you need some input or some insight on what to do for that, I've got something for you. But I tell you first and foremost, every time you're tired, think about what you're putting into your body. Are you putting in processed foods? Are you putting in things that you keep saying you need to stop eating? Because if you're putting in things that you keep telling yourself that you shouldn't be eating or you shouldn't be doing, then you have a subconscious mindset problem that needs to be reset. You need to look at the fears that are in you. Do you have a fear of success? Do you have a fear of having what you want? Do you believe you're worthy? Do you believe you're enough? And so that is things that we start to address, that we address first. Do you believe you're worthy? Do you believe you're enough? Are you taking time for healing? Are you allowing yourself to get out of survival mode? Get out of that. Let your body heal, and then let's push. Let's push, let's transform. It takes action to get from one side of the river to the other. It takes action for transformation to happen. You cannot just sit here. And we will learn that you can change your mindset. That takes change. That we can do meditation in order to help alleviate the stress and reduce the belly weight, the belly fat. However, that too is action. To sit and meditate allows you to pull away from what you were previously doing. So if you think that numbing out on Netflix is your relaxation time, I have news for you. It is not. Because unless you've been exercising physically all day long, your body doesn't need more rest. It's your mind. It's your energy. It's your heart that needs the rest. And you are not getting that kind of rest when you're numbing out on social media or on Netflix, Hulu, anything of that sort. It's your mind and energy that needs the rest and healing, not your body. Your body needs the exercise unless you are the one that's out there exercising all the time. I hope this gives you some insight. If you're curious about how to implement more of this, if you're curious about next steps in order to take your transformation, please get with me. We do hypnotherapy, meditation training, and we have a 4-month well-nourished program as well. I'm your mind body therapist, Izzy Nally. Always feel free to comment, questions, message me, anything of the sort. Let's get you on a free abundance call as well and start getting you into energy healing and mindset healing as well. Mwah.